Hi guys, welcome to Metal and Rock Zone. Today I want to talk about a concert that I saw last night that was Malevolence, Obituary, Trivium and Heaven Shall Burn. And this this concert experience was kind of a example of how things can turn out completely different from what you want. And ironically, and I didn't do it on purpose, I have the At the Gates t-shirt on, and the same thing happened there, that I went in to a concert with a certain thing in mind, and then the outcome was something completely different. Stay tuned, guys. There is more stuff coming out. This week I'm gonna see Manowar and then Catatonia and Soulstabber, and I'll probably do some videos on that. So you might wanna subscribe and all that stuff. Follow us on social media. That's Metal and Rock Zone. We're on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So this concert, I bought the ticket for this only because of Obituary. Everybody knows Obituary is one of the kind of founding fathers of death metal in the world. Founded in, I don't know, 85 or something, and started putting out albums in 88 or 89. And they just came out with a new album, Dying of Everything, and I just did a review on that one when it came out. Great album. Check out the review and tell me what you think about it. And so they were kind of the primary reason that I went to this concert. I didn't really know a lot about the other bands, I have to admit. I didn't know Trivium very much. I didn't know Heaven Shall Burn very much. And Malevolence, I had kind of just seen the name being thrown around, and they were actually being kind of dropped as one of the up-and-coming bands and stuff like that. But I started listening to these other bands kind of before the gig. I mean, I had heard them before, but they hadn't really been in any heavy rotation for me. So the concert was in Forum Karlin here in Prague, where I live, and it's a house with like 4,000 capacity. And when I came in, and you can see that on the video here, that it wasn't super crowded. I was a little bit surprised, because I think like a concert like this is high value. You have 4 bands, ticket price is relatively low, and yeah, I kind of thought that it would be a full house, but it wasn't. I think there was probably like 1,500 to 2,000 people maximum there. The merchandising was kind of, I was surprised, because I wanted to buy some Obituary merchandising, and then I came into the first place and there was only Heaven Shall Burn and Trivium stuff, and I was like, what the fuck, you know? And then I went downstairs, and then I found the Obituary one, and I actually bought a really cool t-shirt, just this kind of classic Slowly We Rot t-shirt, and my girlfriend will kill me if I ever wear it. And then the crown jewel, I got the new album, the Obituary album, and I have it signed by the band. That was really cool. So, and while I was actually buying this, I heard a few songs from Malevolence, because the Obituary stand was downstairs where the gig is in the States and all that thing. And they're kind of like a hardcore, metalcore, punkish, beatdown, sludge metal, whatever. They're from Sheffield, England. That's the kind of the working man's area. They had all the steel and all that stuff, and the coal mines and stuff like that in the 60s, 50s, 60s, and previously. So it's a rough hood, you know, and you can hear that in this music. It's not necessarily stuff that I would listen to, but from what I could hear and see, they actually delivered a pretty good show, and they had the crowd kind of worked up, which I think is really good at 6 p.m. on a Saturday evening. On a Sunday, sorry guys, on a Sunday evening. So yeah, I mean they played, I think, like 7 songs, and I have to admit that there was surprisingly good atmosphere while they were playing. Maybe people knew them more than I did or something like that. But I can't really comment on that band. I didn't see them well enough and enough songs to kind of give them any kind of rating, but they seem to be doing a good job. The moment was then drawing nearer. I was about to see Obituary for the first time in my life, and before this gig, I wasn't sure, why are they number 2 on this bill? You know, like why aren't they the headline? And this was early in the evening, and for me, like it was weird. And I've just done that review on the album, and I kind of loved it, and I've been listening deeper to them now in the last few weeks than I had done for years. I mean, they've kind of always been part of the rotation, but now I've been kind of going through everything, and I was kind of hoping to hear a lot of songs from the new album, and I had been very impressed by John Tardy's singing, and I think, and I said that in my album review, that his singing is actually better now than it was before. He has a nicer voice somehow, and he actually reminds me more of the singer in this band than he did before, or the other way around. I don't know. Um, and uh, and they started off the gig with Redneck Stomp, which is kind of an appropriate start to a gig, but and then they slided right into a song from the self-titled album of 2017 called Sentence Day. Um, the sound was really good. I think I felt that immediately in the first songs, that they managed to deliver a great sound live. I think it's often challenging for those bands to kind of deliver a sound that is nice to listen to somehow. I don't know how I'm describing this. And I think they did a great job with that. The show wasn't very big. They had some smoke machines, like 8 different smoke machines, and then the background was the kind of the cover theme from this album. You know, basically this tower here, and but two of them, twin towers, and they only did 2 songs from the new album, and I was really hoping that they would do more, because it's a kick-ass album, and these for me were actually the best songs in the gig. I mean, like, they delivered the best sound and kind of the best energy, and the crowd was very responsive to those songs, and they played the title song, Dying of Everything, and The Wrong Time, which was one of the singles, or both actually were singles from the album. And then they did some classics like Visions in My Head, Circle of Tyrants, and of course, Redneck Stomp. But I don't know, it was just 8 songs, and or kind of 9 if you count Redneck Stomp, but that was just like a 2-minute version of it or something like that. But what I felt was missing is that there was kind of very low engagement from John Tardy to the crowd. He was playing with the band. There was obviously a good chemistry within the band. He was kind of teasing the guitar player all the time when he was trying to do his solos. But I don't know why they didn't really, because, you know, it's Obituary. It's not like it's some beginner's band. It's a legendary band. My theory first was that it's not allowed, that, you know, because they're a warm-up band for the others, that the other bands kind of, there's some hierarchy of, you know, noise and show and chemistry, or whatever you can do. I don't know. But then a guy that I was talking to, he said, no, well, maybe he just doesn't want to waste time. And that's probably true, because, you know, if you have a slot for 8-9 songs, you kind of want to play those 8-9 songs. You don't want to waste your time talking to people. And so I was a little bit kind of let down by this, because I felt that they could have done a bit more for the crowd and kind of worked it a little bit more, because, yeah, they are Obituary. But then again, yeah, they're the second band on a bill of 4 bands. But on the other hand, I will get to see them again. I'm seeing them in the summer at a festival called Brutal Assault that is here in the Czech Republic. 150 bands, and from all kind of extreme and heavy metal genres. And so hopefully they will get like a full set there where they will play more songs and stuff like that. I have to kind of, if I rate this on the scale of 0 to 10, I'm gonna have to give them just 8 out of 10. I mean, I say just, I mean, it's not a bad rating, but I think, yeah, they could have done more with the crowd, and they could have played a little bit more from the new album. But on the other hand, if you put them as the second band on a bill of 4, then this is what you probably get. Then Trivium was coming on, and I have a confession there. I'm kind of a virgin on their music. I had actually seen them in some concert. I don't remember where or when, and it's not because I was intoxicated or something like that. It's just because I didn't pay attention. It wasn't something that I was looking for. I do have a lot of issues with the mixture of clean and unclean vocals. It's for me, it's probably in metal, apart from power metal, it's the thing that easiest can go wrong somehow when you do this. And so I kind of often deliberately stay away from listening to those bands. So if I hear it, then I kind of skip it. And so I was kind of a virgin on Trivium. I had been listening to them in the car a little bit before and stuff like that, and it didn't really stick with me, and so I was like, okay. And again, I was thinking, why the fuck are they playing after Obituary? It should be the other way around. Now, actually, Trivium is another band out of Florida. They're from Orlando, Florida, and they were founded in 1999. And they're kind of like, yeah, heavy metal, metalcore, and they remind me a little bit of Volbeat. And when I realized that there, I should have known, because I actually went to see Volbeat. I took one for the team. I went with my girlfriend who loves Volbeat. And that was a huge surprise to me. I have a review of that up here or somewhere on the channel, on the concert reviews, where they kind of blew it out of the park, and I didn't expect that. So I kind of should have known that there was something gonna happen here. And they came on, and I felt not just like a virgin, but like a nun in a cucumber field. I was just blown away. Like the energy that this band has, the crowd engagement, the sound was perfect, and these guys they do everything perfectly. You get a feeling that they can deliver the same quality in the studio as on stage, or on stage as in the studio. And they are clearly very ambitious, just very skilled, and I don't know. I think they could do this blind. They could play this stuff blind. They're so fucking good. And the show wasn't like super big. I mean, they had like some colorful background, and then some smoke machines and some lights and stuff like that. They had 2 snakes at the end. It kind of reminded me of the snakes that Amon Amarth uses, but just the baby versions. And the singer, Matt Heafy, he's amazing with the crowd. He's so engaging. He got them to sing in between songs. He got them to clap. He got them to jump. He spoke Czech language. He did mosh pits. It was just everything that a good concert should have, except that I didn't know the songs. But I still loved it, and I didn't know, should I be happy for this song being played or not, because I had no fucking clue, but I could kind of take the cue from the people around me, because they were going freaking nuts. And of course, Matt helped out, because at one point he told us all to sit down on the floor and got the old Slipknot trick, and then jump up. And that was really, really cool. And they did 12 songs. They brought on the guitar player from Heaven Shall Burn, Alex Dietz, I think. He played one song with them, In Waves, I think it's called. That was really, really cool, and you could kind of see that there is obviously a good chemistry between those 2 bands, at least between Alex Dietz and Trivium. And I don't know. I mean, it's not often that you go and see a band where you don't really know anything, or very little, and you don't know what to expect. And when I looked at the set list before, I didn't know, okay, is this a big song or a small song or whatever, But it was a great experience, and I really liked it, and the volume was perfect, and how to say, the clarity of the music was perfect. I'm gonna have to give this 10 out of 10. I loved it, even if I don't know the band. I clearly have to go and listen to them more, because I hadn't really liked it before, and now I'm gonna and the same thing happened actually on this concert when I went to see At the Gates, but I fell in love with In Flames. So you can check out my review on that one here, where I became an In Flames fan after seeing them live, and this is not a very common thing for me somehow. Now, talking about liking what you hear, preparing for this concert, I had been listening a lot to Heaven Shall Burn, and I really, really liked them, and I was like, okay, I wanted Obituary to be the main act, and then I wanted Heaven Shall Burn to be before them, and then Trivium, and then Malevolence. And that's how I kind of ranked it, because I always kind of skipped the Trivium songs in the car, and then I put on the Heaven Shall Burn songs, and I loved it, and obviously Obituary I loved. And then I thought, when I saw Trivium, I thought, okay, so then Heaven Shall Burn are going to be even better, because the Trivium were really good, and Heaven Shall Burn will be even better, that's how it works. And then I saw a lot of people actually leaving, and I was a little bit worried. After Trivium played, a lot of people left. I thought they were going out smoking, but they never came back, unless they smoked something that kind of made them vanish or something. And Heaven Shall Burn is like an extreme metal band from Germany. They've done like 9 albums. I think they started in '95 or something like that. And they came on stage, and it was bad. There was some echo. There was a really, really shitty sound, and I thought often like the first 1 or 2 songs, the engineer is kind of getting it together somehow and figuring out the right mix or something, and but it didn't improve. And I even checked if the sound guy was awake, you know, you can see on the video here that he was awake, and even his friend as well, but he was very kind of tired though. And I don't know, because this is a good band, you know, they have great songs and really cool guitars and drums and stuff like that. And but it just sounded really bad. I mean, the show was cool. They had the background, like, which you couldn't really read from it though, and they had the drum kit on a high riser, so that was kind of cool. But I don't know, kind of midway through, I was thinking maybe it's just too loud, because the house wasn't full, and sometimes in this building, this Forum Karlin, where it was, it kind of gets a little bit echoing, and in this case, they have terraces on 2 levels around the whole auditorium, or whatever you call this, and there was no one there, so there was nothing to absorb the sound. And I don't know, it just, I had a buzz in my ear like 2 hours after the concert. I kind of still have a little bit of it. I had a hard time sleeping, and yeah, I don't know, like the frontman Markus Bischoff, he's a great singer. He's very kind of active on the stage, but the engagement with the crowd was much lower. He somehow didn't get them in the same way that Matt Heafy from Trivium did, and so that was missing also, you know. And yeah, good songs, but they kind of failed to deliver somehow. And with exceptions, there was this new song Übermacht, which we actually have here on the channel. That was really cool there. And then they brought Matt Heafy from Trivium on. It's funny, the Trivium brought on Alex Diaz, and then Heaven Shall Burn brought on Matt Heafy for a song called Whatever It May Take, and that was kind of a highlight of the night. But that kind of says it all, that when a guy from another band comes on, that's your highlight. I felt that there was a slightly better sound when the singing wasn't on, so maybe, yeah, it was somehow the mixing that just didn't do it, you know. I don't think that the problem here was the band. I mean, these guys are clearly good. They have great songs and all that. They know what they're doing. But there was just something terribly off there. And as I said, it might have been the house. It might have been the engineer, sound engineer, or something like that, or mixer guy or something. It was 14 songs. It felt too long. Kind of felt like wanted to go home. And so I'm going to give them 7 out of 10. I will still love them. I will still listen to the music, and I'll probably give them a chance. I'm sure that they will have a better day somewhere else after this. Yeah, but guys, it turned out that this was different than I expected. You know, I kind of thought that I could go there, see Obituary, go and eat while Trivium was playing, and then come back and see Heaven Shall Burn. That was kind of my plan. But luckily I wasn't hungry, so I didn't leave. So I saw Trivium actually. And I would go and see the show, guys, and if Heaven Shall Burn has a bad day again, or the sound is messed up or something like that, you can just leave early. But don't go and eat while Trivium is playing. You definitely want to see them. It's good value for money. I paid, I think, 35 euros or something for 4 bands. That was really good, and could have been a better crowd, like more people, but the ones that were there were very engaged. It was a little bit younger than usually here. And yeah, so let me know, guys, what do you think? Did you see this show? Tell me how you liked it, if you liked it, and if you're going to see them, or if you have seen them. Like, share, and comment. And I think that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.